today, y'all, I'm gonna be making chicken and dumplings. I don't need to do a whole bunch of talking. Right, like I could not talk. Come on, let's start cooking. Listen, right here in this pot, I've already got some butter melting, okay? To that butter, what I'm gonna do is add these vegetables here. I've cut up an onion, celery, and some carrots, because you need your vegetables in chicken and dumplings. Now here I've used one of my favorite shortcuts, okay? You know, when you're making chicken and dumplings or anything, you can always just get yourself a nice big pot, right? And boil your chicken and everything and make your stock. Some days you don't have time for that. And let's just be real, it don't always happen like we want it, does it? And you know what I did? I bought 2 rotisserie chickens. You can do it with just one, but I have kind of a big family, so I bought 2. Took all the meat off the bones and the skin off, and to the side, I have in a bag all of the bones and the goodies so I can make some more stock. There you go. All right, now that this butter's melting, I'm gonna go ahead and drop in these veggies. Oh, this is good comfort food. This is a good winter meal. Actually, it's an any time of the year meal, but it's something about it just says a warm winter day, a warm winter night. You know what I mean? All right, what we're gonna do, let's go ahead and start with these vegetables. And we're not trying to get them done, we're just trying to get them softened up a little bit because everything is going to cook in the chicken broth. All right, I'm gonna season this with a little bit of garlic powder. Okay, a lot of garlic powder. Okay, and I'm also gonna add to this a generous pinch of salt. The good part with garlic powder is you get the flavor without having to actually cut the garlic up. So it's another shortcut. If you don't feel like cutting up garlic or you don't have a jar, if you don't, whatever, get you some garlic powder. Make sure you have salt, garlic. And I'm gonna add some onion powder as well. I gotta find a big one of these onion powder things, y'all. Ooh, that butter smells good. I don't know if that's the butter that smells good or the vegetables and the butter. I'm gonna go for vegetables and butter. Thank you for 100. I don't know why I'm goofy, but I stay goofy and y'all keep watching, so you're encouraging me. All right, while this is getting soft, I want you to also turn your attention here. I've got some water here, and I'm going to make some chicken broth out of that. I usually prefer to use better than bouillon, but you guys, your girl is out of chicken broth. Don't ask me how that, I don't know how it happened, okay? If I knew how it happened, I'd figure it out, and I would prevent it from happening. And I don't have any more in the freezer. There's a video on how to make your own chicken stock up there. Sometimes this just happens. That's why I'm real with y'all. Look, I ain't got it. I just ain't got it today. All right, we're gonna end up putting that in there. I've also got some cream and flour. Now, while I'm waiting for these vegetables to get just a little soft and a little translucent, because we don't want them hard, we're gonna start on our dumplings, okay? This is the part that tends to get people a little, you know, caught up and hung up, the dumplings. Have no fear, the Dumpling Fairy is here. In here, I've got about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of self-rising flour, okay? You can use all-purpose, you don't have to use self-rising. This is a little bit of baking powder. And I'm gonna add, this is about 1/2 tablespoon or so of baking powder. And the reason I'm putting that in there is I really want a nice, light, we want our dumplings to have a little fluffiness to them, okay? And the baking powder will help with that. Now, if you're not using self-rising flour, use more, okay? Use more baking powder, like use up to 2 tablespoons. But I'm actually, this is 1/2 tablespoon in there because I'm using self-rising, okay? Generous pinch of salt, very, very important. Generous pinch of salt, okay? Now I'm just gonna give this a little mix, like so, okay? And then, let me get back in here. Oh yeah, see, this is coming together. We're going to put some butter in here. This is what I have here, some melted butter. And we're also gonna add a little bit of the chicken stock once we get it mixed up in here. So I'm just gonna wait 1 second. Let that keep, oh. Let me tell you something. Garlic powder and onion powder by themselves can do some things to some food. I'm just telling you what I know. I'm just telling y'all what I know. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dump my chicken in here. The onions and the celery have gotten pretty much like I need them. The carrots will take a little bit longer, but I'm using baby carrot. I'm using baby carrots, and I actually chopped them up. So you see here? Look at that. Whose grandmama used to make chicken and dumplings? Who loved their grandma's chicken and dumplings? Who wishes their grandma was still here to taste their chicken and dumplings? Yeah. Oh man. All right guys, so here we go. You see how we've got this all coming together? Oh, that's looking good. Let's hit this with some black pepper too. There we go. And the beauty of using a rotisserie chicken is it kind of gets you past the biggest part of the work. You know what I mean? The chicken's already cooked. It's got a decent flavor in it. You're still gonna season it. You know, you ain't gonna never leave the seasoning of your meat to nobody else. But it's got a good start. You know what I mean? So you're not starting from scratch. And that's really important because it's hard sometimes when you start from scratch. We can do it. We can do what we need to do, right? That's what I thought. All right, we're gonna add some flour in here and get a roux going. Use a little bit of this butter that we're gonna put in our dumplings. This is a whole stick of butter. I only need about half of it. All right, and now I'm gonna start adding flour. This little measure is a 1/4 cup. So I'm starting with about a 1/2 cup-ish. This is about how thick you like your chicken and dumplings. And you'll be able to thicken it later as well, don't forget. Oh yeah, this is good. And also remember the dumplings themselves are gonna thicken it up also because it's just a flour product. All right, see how we did that? All we're doing is getting that flour mixed in there so we lose the raw flour taste. Just cook it just a little bit. You don't need to burn it. And if you need a little bit more fat to help absorb it, just hit it with another drop of that butter. Or you can use vegetable oil, any kind of fat. These dishes to me scream butter. And I feel compelled to answer their call. All right, stir it in just to get rid of that little rawness. There we go. We got a good base going, y'all. We're gonna start to do some more seasoning. Don't worry. Don't get stirred. Ooh, but it's starting to smell like grandmama's house. Now we're gonna go ahead and get our broth going in there. I'm gonna start by adding my water, okay? Be careful with this. And y'all, I don't know how in the ham sandwich, I just knew I had some broth out there. I don't know, y'all. I'm just gonna make this chicken and dumplings and everything's gonna be better. Now we're gonna let this come together and come to a boil. I'm gonna put these packets in. You can do anything you want for chicken broth. I usually don't buy the pre-made, only because I just usually have my own. But you know what? For emergencies, I buy these little packs. And when I need it, chicken broth. All right. So once this comes to a little bit of a boil, we're gonna keep going with our dumplings. Ooh, oh, there we go. I think the directions on these are like 1 pack for, I don't know. Put enough in so it tastes like you want it to. And if it don't taste like you want it to, put in some more. Amen. Oh yeah, here we go. And we're gonna add cream to this at the end. All right, so let's get this all stirred up. Let that come to a boil. And we're gonna get back in these dumplings. So here we go. We have put together our self-rising flour, a little bit of baking powder, and some salt. Now I'm gonna add in this butter, because you need a little fat in these things. I mean, come on. You know, a little fat go a long way, don't it? Look at them hips. My husband's gonna hear this video, and he's gonna say, did I hear you say? And I'm gonna say, me? Yeah. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of this broth out of here, just like so. It's gonna get the flavor of the chicken in there. You can use plain old water, you can even use milk. It's really not that serious, but I'm just gonna do it this way since this is what I'm working with today. All right, put a little bit of that in there. And stir. And this is one of those things where I can't tell you exactly how much liquid to use, because the truth is you need enough for your dough to come together. Now this is not a complicated dough. See that? Can you guys see in there how I'm just kind of bringing this together? I'm gonna get a little bit more. This is the perfect way to do it, I'm telling you. Just like this. Put that broth in there like that. Okay. And if you want to season your dumplings, like if you want to give them a little different flavor of like, I don't know, sometimes people may want to put a little thyme in it or something. You can do that at this point too. I usually just keep it plain because it's going to get the flavor of the broth in there too, and that's going to be delicious. So, let's push this aside. There we go. See that? Simple dough. Now, I'm going to get ready to roll this out. I'm using a glove because you don't have to, but sometimes okay, I'm gonna keep it real, y'all. I got fresh manicure, and I'm just not trying to mess it up today. You know, it needs a few days before I, you know, go hard on it. Okay. So here we go. I'm just gonna take a little bit of flour right here, a little bit on here too. Okay, and don't be scared of these little doughs. They're really not hard. Spread it out a little bit more. Okay, see that? See how that's coming together? Put it right there, just like that. That's all you gotta do. That's it. Dumplings in the process. Then we're gonna go back with a little bit more there and there, see? And we're gonna just kind of work this over. We're not gonna knead this hard. See here, we're just working it over, bringing it together. If you need a little touch of flour, that's okay. See there? That's all we gotta do. That wasn't hard, was it? No, it wasn't. I wouldn't tell you it wasn't hard if it was. I'm an honest woman. Tells the truth. See there? And then I'm just gonna bring it together like so. That's it. And if it's a little sticky, this isn't, but I'm just showing you if it's a little sticky, just do a touch of flour. Don't overdo it, okay? Don't overdo it because you don't want to dry it out. And you see, because I pulled that broth out, I got a few little pieces in there. Onions and whatnot, it'd be all right. Now we're gonna take our broth, our rolling pin, dust it over. Oh, moved up there. There we go. See here, and I'm just rolling these out. Now you want to roll these out nice and flat. I'm actually going to cut this in half and do half of it now on this, and then do the other half as well. So, see there? Look at that. Here, let me bring this bowl back. Put that there for now. Here we go. Just a little smidge. Oh, come into a boil. It's not hard, I'm telling you. It does not have to take all day to make chicken and dumplings. I mean, you can make it take all day. I'm not saying it won't, but I'm saying it doesn't have to. See how I keep pulling it up every few moves just to make sure it's not sticking? That's important, because what you don't want to do is roll the whole thing and then all of a sudden discover that it's sticking. That's bad. Then it's almost too late to do anything. Okay, here we go. Rolling this out nice and flat because it's got baking powder in it and it is self-rising flour. So we can make it nice and flat. There we go, see that? Boom. Get it one more little top of flour. And we're just gonna cut these up. Now you don't have to do this fancy. Some women just take or I shouldn't say women. Some people just pick it up and drop pieces in. That's fine too. Well then I guess the accountant in me this is just, anyway, that's how I'm doing it. Use a knife if you don't have one of these, it's all good. Now, I put a little extra flour on the top at this point to make sure that I can get them in, and then we're just gently gonna drop them into our boiling liquid. Now, as we drop them into this boiling pot of goodness here, they're gonna sink down a little bit, but don't stir, okay? You're going to push them around, all right? So you see how we've got a nice gentle boil going? Look, see I'm just dropping them. As this continues to cook, they're gonna sink and cook, and I'm just gonna push them. See there? And then the rest of the time, while this dish comes together, all these flavors are just gonna get together and do their thing. Let me try to lift these little cooker with a spoon. Okay, that didn't help anything. And look, just push. And what you're gonna see as these get in this heat and get to cooking, they're gonna get puffy and beautiful. All of our dumplings are in there now, and you see how I'm just pushing this aside, pushing this around so they have a chance to cook. And I want you to see something. You see how these dumplings are starting to puff out? That's what's happening with the self-rising flour and that little bit of baking powder we put in there as well, making them nice and light and fluffy. Don't stir it rough, just push. While this is cooking and looking good, I'm just gonna make sure something heat all the way. Just gonna get a little taste of our broth, our juice, as my grandmama used to say. See if this is doing what we want it to do. Give it a little blow. It's hot. Don't burn your tongue. Oh, yummy. Oh, that's coming together. Let's add some more salt to it. This is good, but we need some more flavors in there. I'm gonna put some more garlic powder. Okay. And I'm gonna add more salt. Let's give our little juice a taste again. Yes. One last thing we want to add is a little bit of cream. You can use milk or you can use heavy cream or half and half. Some people even use cream of chicken soup. That's fine. I just like to use some plain old cream just to top it off. Like that. This is 2 cups. I put about, well, I think it was a cup and a half in there. I put just a little bit under that. Look at those beautiful dumplings. Look at our dumplings. Who knew we could make dumplings? I knew you could do it. All right, we're gonna give this some time together. Let it simmer away, and then we will be ready to feast. All right, now we have let this simmer for a good little bit, and I want you to notice as I stir it now that the dumplings have cooked and I'm stirring, I'm always going towards the bottom to make sure nothing is sticking, because something can stick to the bottom, okay? That's all right if it happens, but just keep stirring and moving it so that nothing's getting stuck to the bottom. Look at that. Oh, thick, beautiful. Let's get a taste. Okay, look at that. Oh, I like it with a lot of dumplings. You see that thick heartiness right there? That's a meal. That's a meal. Let's give it a taste. Let's see. I also, while I'm letting it cool before I burn my tongue, I added some thyme in here as well as seasoning. And a little more salt and pepper to taste, okay? Because I saw that the broth I used was sodium free. I need some salt. Oh my God, the dumplings are so light and they're just beautiful little pockets of love. Ooh, can you see the smoke? Let me tell you something right now. This is the kind of dinner food make your husband give you some sugar. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get my husband trying to give me some sugar with this chicken and dumplings. All right, family, thank you for joining me. This is gonna be amazing. I will see you guys next time right here in the Love Lab for more goodies. Look, who am I kidding? Who am I kidding? Look, you see this? Do you see this? Whew. All right, y'all. I'm finna throw down. I'm making a mess and everything. See y'all next time. Happy cooking.